All right. Story time. Uh, so the story I have for the song that I picked goes as follows. So the year was 2008. It was my first year living on my own, first year at college, first summer there. So I believe it was either May, late May, June, or July. Uh, and there just so happened to be a pretty significant tour going on that summer. It was called the Metal Masters Tour. So it had Judas Priest headlining. It had Dio fronted Black Sabbath, which they were calling themselves Heaven and Hell at the time for some legal reasons, I'm pretty sure. Um then Motorhead and Testament was the opener. So a band as well established as Testament being an opener band, you can consider how significant the lineup was. Uh, so the concert was at a semi-outdoor event, I guess you could call it. It was at an amphitheater, so that means some of the concert venue is exposed outside, while the stage area has sort of like a covering over it, but it's still open on the sides and stuff like that. So I get there like super early, like wait, like probably uh, I'd say probably like 2 hours before doors are even supposed to open, because at the time I didn't have a car, so I had to take transit from where I was living at the time, and it's like probably takes like a bit over an hour. Probably it was like an hour and a half to take transit all the way from where I live to where the concert was taking place. And I was meeting up with some friends I had made earlier that year. I had run into, I befriended this group of people at a different concert I went to earlier that year. Um, Found out that they lived where I came from, so I moved with some friends I had made earlier that year. I had run into, I befriended this group of people at a different concert I went to earlier that year. Um, Found out that they lived where I came from, so I moved away to a bigger city, and these people were still living back near where I grew up. So um, met up with them, and um we lined up at the line that we saw there, and so we're sitting there in line, and then all of a sudden the line starts moving, and it's like, whoa, the line's moving a lot earlier than we expected, but whatever. We follow the line. All of a sudden we're going inside the venue, our tickets are getting scanned, and they lead us all the way from one side to the amphitheater all the way to this other side, and it's like this lounge area. So me and my group of friends we kind of like sit at this lounge, and there's not a lot of people here yet, so we're kind of just sitting and chatting, and then a couple of them go off to get drinks, and then as soon as they get back, they're like, hey, we just got these drinks for free. And we're like, what? So we all of a sudden we're just like, okay. So we all line up, all go and grab drinks, and like even there was like food even there. They had like meat on skewers or something like that. So there was food that they were just giving out for free as well. So we're like, what's going on? Like none of us really knew what was going on. But then somebody started messaging people, and they're like, oh, turns out the line that we were standing in was like a VIP line, and we just so happened to be they just so happened to like not like check our tickets all that carefully or anything like that, and we got let in with the VIP people. So we're like, oh, we gotta lay low and stuff like that, and like try to make sure we're not like don't get caught or anything like that. Because like all of a sudden we start seeing like staff at the venue kind of going around and like checking people's passes to make sure that they're supposed to be here and stuff like that. So like we try to kind of like look non-conspicuous and stuff like that, and just have our drinks and eat our food, and then eventually they do checking people's passes to make sure that they're supposed to be here and stuff like that. So like we try to kind of like look non-conspicuous and stuff like that, and just have our drinks and eat our food, and then eventually they do kind of like find us, and like and they find out it's like, hey, you guys aren't supposed to be here with all these people or whatever. So but like because our tickets got scanned, they couldn't take us outside of the venue and make us line up with all the rest of the people that were with general admission and stuff like that. So instead of having us outside the venue back into the line, they put us like right on the other side of security, so inside the venue. So we're basically right at the very front of the line, so we still had like the very first shot of getting merch, and that's where I got this shirt. And I also got a Judas Priest shirt as well. And concert was awesome. It's like ends up furthering my story, while in between Dio, Black Sabbath, and Judas Priest, I make eye contact with somebody else that I recognize. It was a dad that coached my brother's baseball team, and he recognized me, and like he actually had like seats closer to the main stage, and he kind of slips me his ticket stub, and I use that to kind of get down to where he is and hang out with them for a Judas Priest set. So that was kind of cool. So I got to see Judas Priest more up close, but like I'd say the highlight of the night was getting to see Dio, and lucky enough for me, that was my one and only chance I got to see Dio live, because it wasn't too long after that is when he started to have complications from stomach cancer, which ultimately he lost his battle with. So yeah, that's my story. Hope you enjoyed it.